What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video. And Liverpool are inquiring and want to sign the brilliant European and Italian superstar Calafiori, who is playing for the Italy national team at the Euros, so you can see him in action. And also he has had an absolutely brilliant season for Bologna. And James Horncastle, who is a very respected and very well informed journalist, he doesn't post transfer news often, and he confirmed that Liverpool have inquired about Italy's defensive sensation Riccardo Calafiori, who is an absolute beast of a centre-back. He's 188 centimeters tall, so that makes him like 6 foot 2 inches tall, and he's only 22 years old, so he's about to enter his prime years, his peak years as a defender. He made his competitive debut for the Azzurri, as they call the Italian national team, during actually their first European Championship game against Albania, which Italy won, coming from 1-0 down. And Sergio Capello wrote in the La Gazzetta dello Sport, "If I have to compare the Bologna defender Calafiori to a player from the past, the first thought goes to young Sergio Ramos. In my second stint on the Real Madrid bench in 2006-2007, I coached Sergio Ramos, who had arrived from the Sevilla in the previous season. Calafiori, just like Ramos, transformed from a fullback into a centre-back, and I can assure you that Sergio Ramos, as nasty as remember him now, became that way over time." Calafiori was converted from a left-back to a centre-back, and he is left-footed as well. And he looked like a player who absolutely transformed during this 2023-24 season, where Bologna actually qualified for the Champions League, which is an absolutely amazing achievement. And Calafiori, as a result of Bologna's great season, was called up to the Italy national team. He graduated from the Roma Youth Academy, and then Calafiori was sold to Basel in the summer of 2022 for around 3 million euros, with Basel inserting a 50% sell-on clause in his contract. He then moved back to Serie A last summer with Bologna, and he could well be on the move again because interest is very high in him, and the better he plays at the Euros, the more clubs will be after him. And the biggest threat comes from Liverpool. For Liverpool, the biggest threat comes from Juventus and Real Madrid. Juventus is actually Calafiori's preferred destination because Thiago Motta has been installed as a new head coach at Juventus, but Juventus have hit a stumbling block in their negotiations with Bologna because Juventus, it looks like they are getting priced out of a move because Bologna wants, of course, a bidding war for their player, and a price tag of around 40 million euros is now being discussed. Juve are reported to be willing to pay only 25 million euros for Calafiori, despite him being described as the player at the top of their wish list. And Real Madrid also view him as an alternative to Leny Yoro, who of course we talked about many times as well. Leny Yoro's future remains uncertain. He has 1 year left on his contract at Lille. So Liverpool are interested in similar players to Real Madrid, which actually I think is very, very good because Real Madrid just have this incredible eye for talent. Arda Güler, who Real Madrid signed in Turkey, he scored one of the goals of the tournament yesterday in Turkey, beating Georgia 3-1, one of the best games of the tournament. The Euros is so high quality. I absolutely love it. Calafiori has got a contract with Bologna until 2027, and Bologna are under no pressure to sell, given they are about to cash in on Joshua Zirkzee, who Arsenal and Man United are targeting, but Zirkzee's agent wants around 12 to 15 million pounds, and AC Milan has been put off by that. And Calafiori is a left-sided centre-back who can play left-back as well, so he's very versatile, and there are not many brilliant left-sided talented centre-backs on the market. He's tactically flexible, capable of moving from a back four to a back three, and James Horncastle has confirmed that Liverpool are one of the clubs who inquired about Riccardo Calafiori. And Fabrizio Romano also dropped an exciting update about Calafiori, and he suggested that Calafiori's potential move to Juventus is far from certain. Thiago Motta and Calafiori already agreed on personal terms terms with Juventus weeks ago. But between Juventus and Bologna, the situation is complicated. First of all, because Bologna were not so happy with how Motta joined Juventus, so the situation is quite tense between Bologna and Juventus, the two clubs. Also because Bologna believe that if the player can keep performing like this after a fantastic season at the Serie A and now at the Euros, maybe they can sell him abroad for bigger money. Of course, Italian clubs are not the richest. Juventus can't pay the same transfer fees and the same wages as Liverpool. So Bologna, I think, are right to wait for, other clubs and bigger offers for their player. And I think Liverpool are targeting the right kind of players. Lenny Yoro and Riccardo Calafiori are two of the biggest and best centre-back talents in European football. So I think Liverpool are targeting the right players. It's just the matter of, can we get this deal over the line before Juventus or other clubs come in for Calafiori. I think if Liverpool can outbid Juventus, then Calafiori would jump at the chance to sign for Liverpool, of course. And in The Athletic, James Hawkinser is reporting that Liverpool are among several Premier League clubs who have inquired about Calafiori. And Calafiori played really well for Italy against Albania. And we still have to admit that Juventus are in pole position to sign Calafiori, but because there is a frosty relationship between Juventus and Bologna, after the way Thiago Motta left Bologna and went to Juventus, Bologna, if they have a choice, they won't sell Calafiori to Juventus. They would prefer to sell him to a rival, not a rival club, but another club in abroad. And Calafiori, evidenced by the statistics, had a great game against Albania. He won 6 of his 9 duels. He made 3 interceptions and he completed 99 passes, which made it a 93% pass accuracy. He took 117 touches of the ball and he attempted 2 dribbles and completed 2 dribbles. And even though Calafiori only played his 3rd game for the Italian national team and his first competitive game, he looked like a player who played with no fear. He wasn't fazed by the occasion, he just embraced it. And even the Juventus legend Del Piero claimed that Calafiori was never scared in his first major tournament appearance. I mean, what a way to make your debut for the Italian national team in the Euros in the first game. And Liverpool don't have a left-footed centre-back in the squad anymore. All of our defenders are stronger on their right foot, so Calafiori would definitely fill a gap in the Liverpool squad. And if Lenny Yoro's preferred choice is Real Madrid, then I would want Liverpool to go after Calafiori, and we will look at Calafiori's numbers in the second half of this video because his statistics are pretty impressive. So these are his successful passes after ball recovery. He played 26 and a half full 90 minutes if you add up his minutes for Bologna, and he made 84% of the balls that Calafiori recovers, that they end up in a successful action in 84% of the time, which is really, really impressive. And as you can see, he made 147 successful passes, 6 progressive passes, and he made only 24 unsuccessive passes. And as you can see, Calafiori ranks 3rd in the ball retention metric among all of the Serie A players, which is really, really impressive. So Calafiori makes very few risky passes, and overall he has a good ball retaining ability. He looks very reliable with the ball. One thing that is missing in his game when it comes to passing is maybe the ability to break lines, but as a centre back, that's not his main role. And Calafiori has a great ability to defend the left flank of the defense. He has a great success rate when tackling close to the touchline, even intercepting sometimes, as you can see by this graphic. One of the reasons why I highlighted his ability to defend the flank is because his recovery map shows that he's good at retrieving balls in the channels as well. That defensive half space, the left defensive half space to be precise, he ranked 6th for recoveries in the left left defensive half space among all the other Serie A players, which is really impressive as well. Let's look at Calafiori's progressive actions, because the volume might not be there, but it is a good sign to see some of those left to right switches on this, as well as some of the carries. And here is a graphic where you can see the aerial duels 1%. Calafiori is pretty high on the list, in the middle, next to Lenny Yoro, and defensive duels 1. He's also right in the middle among all the other defenders. And what stands out to me is, look at Jero Kwanzaa, 21 years old, and he has the best defensive duels win percentage out of all the center backs. That is under 25 central defenders in Europe's top 5 leagues, and they had to play 1,300 minutes at least per 90 minutes in total to get actually on this graphic. So as you can see, Calafiori is very similar to Lenny Yoro in terms of defensive and aerial duels 1%, but Jero Kwanzaa stands out. What a find from the Liverpool Youth Academy, absolutely brilliant. And what is really impressive about Calafiori is that he can play left back, centre back, and even left midfield, and if it requires. And Calafiori is a threat from set pieces. He scored 2 goals and got 5 assists in the Serie A, and in total he played 37 games. He played the full 90 minutes for Italy against Albania, so I'm really looking forward to watching Calafiori play at the Euros, because if he can perform at the Euros, which is a very high level tournament, then I think he can perform for Liverpool at a very high level as well. And looking at his injury history, he only had 1 injury this season where he missed 2 games with a small knock for Bologna, and he didn't have a really serious injury for the last 5 years, which is really impressive. At Roma, he had a ligament injury when he was still a youth academy player, but I'm not sure if we should really count that, because he wasn't probably available to play for the first team. And I think Calafiori looks like the type of centre back that Liverpool need. A good natural physique, he's technical, and he's very cultured in possession, as evidenced by his great pass percentage rate. If Liverpool aren't looking at a big space eater at defensive midfield, then it's imperative that Liverpool acquire a conservative left back / centre back who is comfortable in build up and who is effective on the flank. If Trent is inverted and Robertson is flying high, pressing the opposition high up the pitch, then Liverpool would need an absolutely brilliant defensive midfielder, a destroyer like Fabinho, like Rodri, who can cover the defense in the absence of Trent and Robertson. So Calafiori, even at left back, would be a very good option, because he is much more conservative, he is much more defensive minded. And the profile of Calafiori looks absolutely perfect for Liverpool. He's just turned 22 years old, so I really hope that Michael Edwards picked him out and we will sign him. Of course, it depends on the price, because Liverpool don't want to overpay for any player. But if we could get him for around 30 to 40 million pounds, I think that would be a great business, great value for money for a very talented player. Let me know what you think about Calafiori, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.